So, my dear students, there are some more terms which are related with flower and parts of the flower. One term we study, that is perianth. Sometimes when we see a flower and we are not able to differentiate that which part is sepal and which part is petal. So sometimes when petals and sepals are undifferentiated, then we call it as a perianth. Okay, like if you talk about this part, suppose it is a petal and it is a sepal, both are of same color, then we name it as perianth. There are two type of perianth would be there. One may be as a non-green part. When I say a flower in which petal is non-green, when I say non-green, it means that if you take a flower in which the flower is non-green, whole as a whole is a non-green, we call it petaloid. Like in the case of lily, we are not able to differentiate, we are not able to separate out this thing or make out this that which part is petal which part is sepal, but we as a whole we see it as a non-green part. Non-green means other than green any color. When then we call that type of flower as a perianth. An example is lily is good simple example you must have seen, and one is anemone also, one more example is there. But if you talk about a flower in which it is a flower but as a whole it look like a green part, green flower as a whole, we are not able to distinguish, then we call that flower as a sepaloid. That is a green. Whole flower would be green, that is a sepaloid. A very good example is Amborella. I repeat, the example would be Amborella. One more case we can take, sometime flower may arise in the axil. This part is axil, this part is axil, this part is axil. Sometime flower arises in the axil of a leaf-like structure. Then we call that leaf-like structure as a bracts. So these are flowers. These are the structures, leaf-like structures, and these leaf-like structures are called bracts. And let us take one more term. Sorry. In some flower, you know that flowers are also very they are famous for sweet fragrant liquid that is called nectar. Even so many insects are there, especially honeybee, they are moving around looking for always nectar is in a flower, and we get this honey, we take it, it's quite delicious. So that if we get this nectar, there's a sweet fragrant liquid, those cells which are producing this nectar, those nectar secreting cells are called nectaries. And their location, if you talk about, they are present at the base of a pistil of a flower. And if you talk about the main function of these nectaries in a flower, they are very important to attract insects for pollination, so play important role indirectly fertilization in a flower, because insects may carry many pollen grains in their body parts, and they would be coming or maybe searching for different flowers in search of nectaries or nectar, but in the body parts they may carry different pollen grains, and they would be helping in fertilization. Okay, a very good example in which a flower containing very prominent nectaries would be present. That example, please keep in mind, Nasturtium. Example is Nasturtium, a flower with a prominent nectaries.